Hello everyone, gonna be breaking down the 9-game NBA slate for Saturday. So Chicago Orlando, this is gonna be the first game, and they're playing again. It's a rematch, but you just look at the times. There's a 1 hour gap, so if we really need the time for some late news, because we're probably gonna need to see if the Bucks rest anyone and Drummond's rested, and there's some injuries still with like OKC, Brooklyn, maybe who they will have available. So it might actually be smart to just fade the first game, but looking at it though, there are some really strong plays. Again, we saw what Vooch, Cole Anthony, just some of these guys did in this game. Lauri Markkanen being out, or he's not officially out, but because he didn't return in this game, I would say that on a back-to-back, he's probably going to be more doubtful. So if he's going to be out, they did give Denzel Valentine a lot of run. They're just going to give the minutes to basically slide everyone down. So they'll give Garrett Temple a bigger role, Satoransky even. So we're gonna have to wait and see who they start. Maybe they start Thad directly for him. But Thaddeus Young, just again, he's pretty expensive now. Orlando, not like an easy target. So I don't really feel like Chicago's really have anything. Obviously, if like someone were to start down here, but Valentine Temple, like the prices are already kind of up there. Maybe Porter gets in for this game, but yeah, it's gotta wait and see. Orlando side, yeah, which is going to look really good, 8,900, coming off of a ceiling game, 77 DK points, but I mean, the matchup is the exact same. There's nothing that's different here, but it doesn't really matter about the matchup because you just, for this, that when you have a ceiling game, it is really, I don't want to say like unlikely, but it's hard to see him do it again. And the matchup is still as good as it gets, but just to ask him to shoot really well again, get 19 rebounds, it's just very difficult to see him do that. And also his price is a little bit higher. And also that 1 hour that you might be able to get might really help you in building all of your lineups. So I think that Vooch is definitely a really good play, but it really comes down to what we have for the slate, what happens with all of the rest of the games. Cole Anthony, same price. He's going to look great as well, 5,700. Terrence Ross, he played a lot, but he just wasn't really getting a lot of shots up. So hopefully, if he just gets more shots, I can definitely see him be a good tournament play. And then for the Toronto side, they're on a back-to-back. The prices are a little bit higher now, but the matchup's really good. So I still think that one of these top 3 guys can be in a tournament winning lineup. Obviously, Siakam did really well. Hopefully, you guys jumped on him. For this one, though, right now, I don't really have a strong feel. I don't think this is a Boucher game because you got Clint Capella, who Aaron Baines is definitely a much better matchup in this case. Again, I explained why Boucher was a good pick against the Nets, but this time I don't really think it is his turn. So, for Toronto, I know this is a really appealing game, but right now it doesn't really stand out just because the prices are a little bit higher than we're used to. For Atlanta, Trae Young is questionable, so if he's out, we're going to have to go back to Rajon Rondo. I know a lot of people don't want to play this guy, but he's one of the most productive, I don't say most, but he is very productive fantasy player, so I really like him. Donner's still out, and if Okongwu is out, that's actually a significant injury because then we see John Collins get backup center minutes, and then if Trae Young is out, then you just get a lot more usage for Collins. So gonna need to monitor that situation. Herter would look good as well, Reddish, but price is a little bit higher for him. Now, Milwaukee, we've seen them rest Giannis. So if they do it here, then yeah, Drew, Middleton is going to look really good, Portis. So if he doesn't rest, then yeah, Giannis is still going to look really good at 11K. Just one of the best fantasy players. Now, the Cavs side, Andre Drummond, his price is coming down, but it's also because of how the situation is now. We're seeing him and Allen just split a lot of minutes. So really, I think Drummond's price, it's cheaper than we're used to, but it's probably correct. So yeah, he's got a really big upside. If he plays well, he can definitely earn more minutes. But at Milwaukee, if Giannis is in, it's going to just make everything a lot tougher. So for right now, not knowing about like Larry Nance too, we just kind of can't make that decision. Now, the Spurs side, though, we have DeJounte Murray, who was questionable. Aldridge, Lonnie Walker already out. Now, Rudy Gay is going to be back for this game, so he can definitely take some power forward center minutes. And against Houston, they will sometimes play PJ Tucker at the 5. So that's one way that this game could go small. But when this game is closing, I do expect Cousins to be out there. So I think Pirtle's still going to look really good, but at 5,800, I think Cousins is the much better play for just a little bit more. DeRozan, though, if Murray is out, he's going to look really good because Aldridge's already out, Lonnie Walker's out. We don't really know about Derek White yet, but I think he can definitely look as a really good play, especially if he starts for Murray. We could see Mills, but I would lean towards White because Mills, it seems like they want him to coming off of the bench. And then Keldon Johnson, he's a good tournament play. I think a lot of the ownership's going to go to DeRozan because just all the injuries that's left, and his minutes are just more secure. But I think Keldon has a really good upside. He has 40 plus upside. Houston, they play pretty fast, and all these injuries just make the guys who are playing a lot more appealing, and possibly Devin Vassell as well. He's 3,300, the cheapest guy here that should get some good minutes. So I think he's worth a mention. And the Houston side, John Wall is questionable. They're going to be without Woods, so DeMarcus Cousins 6,300. That's just too cheap. He is very productive. He should really be like an 8K player. Oladipo is back, but Cousins, the usage is just really good for him. So we're going to have to wait. If John Wall is out, then I think Eric Gordon, you can still play him, but pretty much everything is just going to be towards Cousins. Now, Minnesota, D'Lo, this is a back-to-back. He could possibly rest, but looking at it right now, he's totally fine. OKC, back-to-back rematch again. So I think Russell, Beasley, Reed, they're all okay. They definitely all have upside. But that's really pretty much it. Hernan Gomez, I don't even if he gets minutes, it's not going to be significant. So I don't think it's time yet to go to him. For OKC, we have to wait if SGA his injury is legit because he might have just rested Friday because they're playing a back-to-back, so they'll play him Saturday. And then Al Horford, he hasn't played a back-to-back, so he might rest. They definitely actually do have depth at the center position. They can play Roby more at power forward center with Muscala and then Kendrick Williams. He's pretty big. They have a lot of guys, I don't want to say a lot of guys, but they have big guys that can play those bigger positions. So if they're still going to be shorthanded, which they still should be, but I mean, we don't know about Maladon, Dort. So if they're all out, then yeah, we're going to be looking back to Baisley, Diallo, Horford if he plays on the back-to-back, Kenrich. So yeah, just got to monitor that. Brooklyn, they're going to be without KD, so that's going to make Harden, Kyrie just very good plays. Their minutes should be staggered. I prefer Harden because his rebounds are a lot higher, and then he just has way higher triple-double upside, the chance of that happening, than Kyrie. And I think when $1,300 apart, I prefer to pay it for Harden. Now, everyone else, Bruce Brown, probably going to start. I think he's a fine value play, but there are 9 games, so we might be able to do better for value because Bruce Brown also, even though he's starting, he just hasn't seen crazy high minutes for a starter. For the Phillies side, we're going to have to wait on the injury statuses of Embiid. He's questionable, and Simmons and Curry, but Simmons is probable. So, yeah, if Embiid is in, I do like him. The Nets, they do struggle against big men. So the Nets might start DeAndre Jordan for this one. And, I'm just going to have to monitor that situation with who's going to play. And then Golden State Dallas, this is also going to be a rematch. I do not want to chase that Oubre monster game, but I do have to say that his price probably is not high enough because they're still going to be on short on bodies. And if Pascal Werder still be out, they're still going to have just 9 bodies or something because a lot of these guys are not with the team. So I think Curry, he looks fine. Wiggins also. Oubre is probably going to get a lot of ownership, so Wiggins is going to be a nice pivot. He was in foul trouble, that's why I didn't get the minutes. Draymond, he looks good as well, but I mean, he got a crazy high, 15 assists, I think. 15 assists, a lot of those, Kelly Oubre, obviously, Curry, just from shots. So I don't really feel comfortable going for Draymond at 6K, but if Pascal were to be out, then Draymond's going to get some center minutes. I like Toscano Anderson as well for value. So wait and see. Dallas, it looks like pretty much they're going to be healthy. So I think at these prices, Luka got monster upside. He's always in play. Porzingis at 8,200. Golden State doesn't have the size, but Porzingis, when Luka is playing, he's got 50 point, close to 60 point upside for sure, but he usually gets around 40 points, and at 8,200, that's kind of the price where we expect them to be. So I don't see a whole lot of tournament upside in that. And with everyone else, they're just healthy. So like I don't feel like I need to go to one of these 3K guys when possibly we have OKC, San Antonio, even the value from there. Memphis side, they're going to be getting out Jonas Valanciunas. Brandon Clark is questionable, but with Joel back, I don't think he's going to play a lot of minutes, and especially with Memphis, how they just run their rotations, they don't give big minutes to anyone. I think John Morant, though, he's the one guy that can play close to like 35 minutes. So he's in play 7,600. But everyone else, like, I don't think you can play Tillman now with Joe Val back. Brooks, Anderson, their usage is going to go down. Grayson Allen is going to be back, so that's going to hurt D'Anthony Melton, Desmond Bane. So not really a lot from Memphis. Now, the New Orleans side, this is also going to be a back-to-back for them. Zion and Ingram, their prices are up. It definitely caps their upside, but they can still get there. It just doesn't feel like they're going to be priorities for me. And then Bledsoe and Lonzo, they're usually like in the mid-high 5Ks. So again, this game, it seems like a really high-scoring game probably, but the prices just make it really difficult to get to them. And then the last game, Detroit's on a back-to-back. This definitely looks like a blowout, but you can't really just play it that way because if it's not, then you're probably going to get Detroit multiple Pistons in the winning lineup. Because it is a back-to-back, I think Blake is going to rest. Derrick Rose should be back as he rested on Friday. So with Rose back, I'm not going to be on DeLon Wright. His minutes are just going to be cut. Plumlee, the size for the Lakers, they're going to need him out there, but very foul prone. This is just a tough matchup. So Jeremy Grant, 7,100. He's probably the best guy here. Josh Jackson, just a little bit too expensive. But, we'll probably see like Sadiq Bey as a value play at 3,300 starting again. But, yeah, it just doesn't really feel good for the Detroit side. Now, the Lakers, because it definitely has a blowout risk, we've seen the Lakers pretty much just take it easy. Like, they'll not play their main guys in the fourth when they have a big lead or even have like a lead at all. So yeah, it's tough to go to LeBron and AD. I think we can definitely spend our salary to pay up for like Luka and Giannis if he's in, Steph. So I think those are the better plays than these guys. And they're both probable, so I don't expect to have like value plays from anyone down here. So right now I'm going to plug in for the core five. I'll put in Derek White right now for point guard. Hopefully he starts. If he doesn't, I'll update that. Maybe we can go to Mills or something. And then thanks to DeMar DeRozan, that'll look excellent. And then we got to go with the Brooklyn Nets because KDB now, there's going to be a lot more usage opened up. And then also on the other side for the Spurs game, we got to play DeMarcus Cousins. 6,300, he's just way too cheap. And then for the value play is going to be Toscano Anderson right now. Long team. Because if Pascal is still going to be out, they just don't have bigs. It's pretty much Draymond and Toscano Anderson. So he has to play big minutes regardless, even if it's a blowout. So I think that's going to be a core five right now. I expect a lot of news tomorrow. So yeah, just make sure to follow that on Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter at Ballfuls, link in the description below. You can ask me anything on there. I tweet a lot about DFS, about the slates, and just give out any advice. If I didn't mention anything, just ask me. I'm happy to help you guys. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like before you go, and good luck on the slate. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.